First up, we're in Vancouver, Washington, where a 16-year-old is in juvenile court after violating his probation. He's joined by his mother. Next to them is the court clerk. But noticeably absent is his attorney. As Judge John Woolley inquires about the lawyer's whereabouts, the teen addresses the court.
I would like to fight for myself and not have an attorney.
It appears this young defendant wants to play Perry Mason, but Judge Woolley doesn't necessarily think that's a good idea.
Oh, that's not a smart play. That's like going out on the field with the New York Yankees and you've never even learned how to play baseball.
That's fine.
So I'm not going to do that. You're going to have an attorney assist you in this matter. I'm not going to let him fly solo and walk into a court of law and try to practice law when he hasn't even finished high school.
I just wanted to say I'm guilty. That's all. Just take what I get.
We're sending it over to Tuesday.
What Judge Woolley doesn't clarify is that he believes a juvenile can't legally plead guilty without an attorney present.
I'm not going to accept an admission at this time.
We're not getting to do what we want,
So put it on for Tuesday for either admit or deny, or for whether or not there'll be a replacement of the attorney.
So far, it looks like Judge Woolley's doing everything in his power to help this defendant. But when the teen continues to question him,
Why can't I just admit today that?
the judge loses his temper.
Because I'm doing my job, sir. My job requires that I protect your constitutional rights, you as an American citizen. That's my charge. And if you're too stupid to know that what I'm trying to do is protect you, then let me spell it out for you. So step one is I bring the case back with an attorney, and then we talk.
Notice as the court clerk tries to signal to the teen to be quiet,
Because I'm doing my job, sir.
then scores some brownie points with the boss by backing him up.
And our state Supreme Court has backed you up on that.
They have. And I'm sure the U.S. Supreme would too.
And listen carefully as Mom expresses her dissatisfaction with the judge's choice of
The
words.
Supreme Court has backed you up on that.
They have. And I'm sure the U.S. Supreme would too.
Okay, you're going to take this and you're going to have a seat. You're going to be back in court, actually.
Perhaps sensing the mood shift in the courtroom, Judge Woolley offers an apology,
And my apologies to everyone in this courtroom. I very rarely lose my temper.
if you want to call it that.
But when I do, it's usually because someone is too stupid to recognize that I'm trying to help them.
There are just a few issues with Judge Woolley's backhanded apology. One, he's just doubled down on calling the defendant stupid.
Which usually because someone is too stupid to recognize that I'm trying to help them.
And two,
I very rarely lose my temper.
problem is, that's not entirely true. Over a 2.5-year period, Judge Woolley was cited for 4 separate incidents by the Washington State Commission on Judicial Conduct for, quote, a pattern of discourteous, impatient, and undignified behavior. Judge John Woolley would later receive a public reprimand for his ill-tempered courtroom conduct.
Oh, that's not a smart play.
We go to the Juvenile Justice Center in Nashville, Tennessee. It's after 9 p.m. 4 teens aged 15 to 17 have been left unsupervised while on a work detail, off camera in the basement of the building. As minors, these boys are staying here instead of jail while they await trial for crimes including armed robbery, auto theft, and murder. And as you can see, they don't plan on sticking around for their trials. They've just come up a basement elevator and are wearing what appear to be yellow security vests. While one of the young men begins making his way down the hall, he changes his mind and follows the others up the stairs. When they get to the ground floor, the teens bolt through the front entrance. No one's stopping them. Cameras catch the entire escape. For now, they've made it and run off into the night. Eventually, all 4 involved in the escape were caught and could now face additional charges. It's later discovered that the 4 teens likely had help from the inside. 2 employees are terminated and arrested for assisting the juveniles in their escape. And this wasn't the first time a juvenile tried to escape this exact same juvenile facility. go back just 2 years earlier. And these staff members have been tracking a teen as he makes his way through the ceiling, just a few feet above their heads. Though he's just out of reach, the ceiling begins to give way. The ceiling doesn't hold, and the defendant crashes through. Security's not giving up and immediately surround him, as his daring, though poorly planned escape comes to an end. Watch again as the juvenile makes one last effort to flee. Security's taking no chances of letting him escape again. He's unhurt and immediately taken back into custody. After this incident and the most recent escape, the city of Nashville is considering taking over operations of the privately run center.
Keisha Johnson.
Now to Louisville, Kentucky, and the Jefferson County District Court. An arraignment hearing is underway for 18-year-old Keisha Johnson, who's charged with possession of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and tampering with physical evidence.
Come on up here, ma'am.
I would like to stand here.
When called upon, Johnson decides to address the judge, Sean Delahanty, from the back of the court.
No, you stand at this podium.
Awesome.
I
Could you
get-
tell me
Come on, you have to come up here. We can't record
what
your
laws
back.
you guys operate under?
The laws of the state of Kentucky.
Yes. As in like amateur law, common law, statutory.
Come up here and stand at this podium. I have to get you on the record so that we can see you with your argument.
Okay. Well, for on the record, I reserve my right before crossing this bench.
Johnson's refusing to cooperate because she's part of a sovereign citizens movement, which rejects institutions and believe they aren't bound by the country's laws.
Well, Mr. Johnson, I really don't want to create some big scene.
Okay, well,
Hang on
like
a
I said,
second.
when
I do not want to lock you up, but I may very well have to. I need for you to come up here and stand at this podium.
Can I just sit there so I can
No,
get
you
my
cannot.
protection of common law?
No, you cannot. You have to come up here and stand at this podium.
As the bizarre scene plays out, there's another disruption in the back of the courtroom when a bailiff tells 36-year-old Jenna Vondran to stop filming on her cell phone.
Show me the law. Show me the law.
In Kentucky, judges are given broad discretion on allowing filming in their courtrooms.
This is my property. Show me the law.
All right.
Show me the law.
Chris,
Show me the law.
Chris.
Show me the law.
go ahead and lock her up.
Show me the law.
Go ahead and take her into custody.
Watch as the judge looks down and presses his panic button to summon additional deputies to the courtroom.
What are you doing? There's no right. You have no right.
You sit over there, nothing about
You have no right. No right for that.
Yeah, I'm not finished with her yet.
No! No!
All right.
After a quick reset, the original defendant, Keisha Johnson, finally comes forward to the podium.
You're charged with possession of marijuana, tampering with physical evidence, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
I don't understand any of that.
All right. Well, you're charged with illegally possessing marijuana.
Yes, I can.
You are,
While the judge's attention is back with Johnson, deputies in the hallway are still trying to get control of Vondran, the woman with the cell phone.
I don't understand any of those charges.
well, there's not a whole lot more. There's not a whole lot more I can do to try to explain to you.
Okay,
When trying to play clueless doesn't work, Johnson goes back on the offensive.
let's start here. Can you guys prove jurisdiction? Prove jurisdiction because I come in under common law. Prove your jurisdiction that you have jurisdiction over me. Prove jurisdiction. A court cannot proceed until you guys prove jurisdiction. Show me your jurisdiction. Show me your law.
All right. All of our laws are codified in the Kentucky Revised Statute.
Show me jurisdiction. Show me the law.
Hey, here you go.
Okay, that doesn't prove that you have jurisdiction.
Okay, so what else? Now, there's a simple way for me to prove jurisdiction to you. I'm going to ask the deputy to go ahead and take you into custody.
Under what charges?
Under
what charges?
You are disrupting my court.
Stay back. Got your back. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
All right, we're going to pass her case to tomorrow.
You guys are being mistreated and it's wrong under common law, under the United States Constitution. And if they keep doing this, then let us.
Keisha Johnson's arrested and charged with contempt of court. Fast forward to the next day, and she's about to face a new judge.
Keisha Johnson, 56.
This time, Johnson's represented by an attorney.
I don't know how familiar you are with this, but this
I'm
case.
familiar. Podium flipper.
Okay.
I've heard a little bit about it from
Okay.
yesterday. All right, so this is Miss Johnson. We'll note that she's in custody today. She's brought over and present.
And she'd like to make a statement to the court.
I had time to think about it, and I believe and I've learned that I need to represent myself in a respectable manner while in front of the judge.
Okay, so obviously that behavior will not be tolerated. That's why you ended up where you are.
Keisha Johnson's found guilty of contempt of court and is released from jail after serving 1 day. On her original charges, 2 were dropped, but she's found guilty of possession of marijuana, fined $185. As for Jenna Vondran, who was arrested after filming in the courtroom,
All right. Go ahead and lock her up.
she's found guilty of disorderly conduct and serves 1 day in jail. For this next story, we want to warn you. The facts are gruesome. But as you will see, daring escapes aren't only attempted in the American legal system. As we head over to Russia.
Тебе решение суда понятно?
This is 18-year-old Leonid Grazer, who's on trial in Moscow, Russia, for the murder of his sister, Aradia Korol. According to the defendant, he was commanded by Satan to kill his 21-year-old sister, who he stabbed multiple times. Today, Grazer's in the Sherbinsky courthouse behind the walls of a glass cage. This practice is rarely seen today outside of Russia to prevent dangerous criminals from attacking or possibly even escaping, which is exactly what Grazer's planning to do. It appears now that Grazer's calmed down, but moments later, he somehow has slipped through the slats at the top of the bulletproof security dock. A gap in the video doesn't reveal how he did it, but if we look again, officers consider opening the box to stop him, but Grazer's way ahead of them. One officer strikes him, but he's not giving up. The female officer runs over and presses a large button on the wall, calling for backup. Grazer's pants are coming off during the escape. The officer has a firm grip on Grazer's leg and is not about to let go. Then another officer arrives. At this point, these Russian officers are not playing around. As the taser comes out, he makes sure Grazer knows what's about to happen. Grazer's finally had enough. After putting his pants back on, Grazer will go on to make a full confession for the murder and said he had no regrets about what he did. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to A&E to never miss a new video and catch full episodes on aetv.com.